No, just start the music. We'll start in a minute.
Bientôt fleur en feuilleton. Tu vas prendre ça. Prends soin de toi, hein? C'est ça. Oh, regarde, il y a un chien important là-bas. Souviens-toi de ce que je te dis, hein?
Imagine this.
Hey everybody, this is Professor Alan Winson from JJAY College, broadcasting from the North Hall in room 3149. It's our temporary broadcast studio for RADio568. Today we have a group of teams, several teams, from the Self-Media and Society class of section LC06. This is a Learning Communities class. And they're going to be talking about their experience being in college. They're all freshmen, and they're first-time college students. So they've all put out various topics on their experience. The first podcast we're going to be listening to is dealing with financial aid and the problems with borrowing money and the worries that students have right from the beginning of how am I going to pay this all back. So we're going to listen to the podcast from team number 2 of section LC06 of the Self-Media and Society class here at JJAY College. And then we'll be right back and we'll have a live broadcast and talk to the students who created that podcast. So, Tom, take it away.
You work your butt off for 4 years in high school and you apply for your dream college. You get accepted, but you can't even pay for it. Wow, all that hard work for nothing. Hey guys, it's Momo. I'm with Durrani, Gabrielle, Jennifer, and Roger.
Hey, I'm Durrani.
Darani. Alright, so first off, as being students of the school, or even just as simple as citizens or permanent residents of the United States, we should all know or have heard of financial aid. If you don't, well, financial aid is grants or scholarships, loans, or paid employment offered to help a student meet his or her college expenses. There has been some issues over a number of years now where people who actually need financial aid aren't receiving any because of eligibility requirements. Then, on the other hand, there are students who receive financial aid and use the money toward everything else except for school. Next is Gabriel.
Some people aren't fortunate enough to have the government give them money, but there's also other forms of financial aid. There's scholarships, and for first years, there's TAP, which is also another method of acquiring money for school, and SEEK.
Next is Jennifer. That was Gabriel.
Hi guys, it's Jennifer. So I did an interview at the financial aid office with a person named Chelsea. And according to her, the office will help you to have a chance at an education for little to no cost. The office puts everything together, loans, grants, scholarships, and government benefits to meet the tuition with the amount our family can afford. I found so many things wrong with this statement. First off, many friends of mine didn't even go to college because they couldn't afford it, and they weren't getting financial aid since their parents apparently made too much money. However, financial aid doesn't look at what the money goes to. Many people don't go to college because the money their parents receive go to mortgage and bills, and their parents just can't afford it. Also, parents might not want to pay for schooling. Another issue with financial aid is that the amount of money it takes to keep it going, they might as well send everyone to college for free. For example, the average yearly tuition and fees for a public four-year college is $8,655, but the average student received $13,000 in financial aid money, which is clearly more than the tuition. Education shouldn't depend on the wealth of parents. Many bright young people can't afford college, while others leave school deeply in debt due to loans. My point is that everyone should have an equal chance to go to school, and it should be tuition free for the benefit of everyone.
So that was Jennifer. Next, it's Roger.
Hey guys, I'm Roger. Picking up where Jennifer left off, there are already other countries that are offering free college education. Countries such as Germany, who are offering free education for more skilled workers. Finland, another country offering free education to foreigners, but reminding them school is free, but not the afternoon coffee. France, another country, allows children of unemployed parents that could study for free, but other privileged working parents have to pay, but it's about only $14,000 a year, and it's still much more less than U.S. College tuition. Other countries like Brazil and Norway and Sweden.
Alright, that was Roger. And to close off, hopefully everybody heard our message, and in New York, financial aid would be free for everyone. Thanks. Bye, guys.
Yeah, what you about?
Okay. Thank you very much. We have the team who put that podcast together here in the studio, and I'm going to ask. We'll start with Jennifer and just move around the table. Introduce yourself. Maybe tell us again what your major is, and is anyone listening that you know of? So let's go around the table.
My name is Jennifer, and
Is Jennifer's mic on?
Indeed.
All right. So maybe you have to be right on top of it. Yeah.
okay, so my major right now is criminology, and my nephew said he would be listening, Jason, and my brother Davon.
Okay. There you go. We heard you just then. Try that again, Jennifer, because you weren't quite on mic.
My major is criminology, and my nephew Jason said he would be listening, and my brother Davon.
Great. Welcome to the program. I hope they are listening. Just move around the table. Go on.
My name is Darani. I'm majoring in forensic psychology, and my friend Lydia is listening.
And you have someone listening.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Good. We'll finally get an audience to our program. So go ahead. Yeah.
My name is Gabriel, and I'm also a forensic psychology major. And my sister's listening. I think she is.
And your sister's name is
Lena.
Lena. Okay. So we'll see if Lena's listening. Yeah.
My name is Roger. My major is police science, and shout outs to my sister Elizabeth.
Hey, Elizabeth.
Hey, Liz.
Liz. Nice.
Hi, my name is Mamtaz Rupa, aka Momo. I'm majoring in computer information system and gonna shout out to my friend Abul.
Napul.
Abul.
Abul. Okay. Very good. Yeah. College debt, the debt that you accrue over the next 4 or 5 years that you're here. I just wondered, as we move around the table, at the end of your college career, how much money do you think each of you is going to owe someone? Did you ever think about that? What number comes to mind as, when I'm done, I'm going to be owing this much for my college education? I'm including books and transportation, anything that you had to borrow that you're going to have to owe. Anyone? What is that number?
50,000.
Wait, you got to be right up to the mic.
50,000.
So you think you're going to have a $50,000 debt?
Yep.
I didn't know John Jay was that expensive.
Well, books, transportation.
Okay.
Not.
But you're going to have paid that off before you're done. I mean, I'm talking about the debt you have to pay when you graduated, when you get your bachelor's degree. How much is that number going to be? I doubt, Roger, it's going to be 50,000. That's a lot. Yeah, you're not paying that much for the CUNY education.
Well, I'm getting financial aid, so it won't be as much. It'll probably be like close to like $5,000. So it won't be like too unrealistic, but it'll be somewhere around there.
So $5,000.
Yeah,
And once
not
you
that
start
bad.
working, that's not going to be so bad
No.
to pay off. Anyone else? And any
I
guess?
mean, I haven't really thought about it because I'm not getting financial aid and I'm really struggling to pay right now. So I'm actually thinking about taking next semester off.
And working.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I'm not getting much and it's hard to pay for it.
And what are your debts? If you don't have to share, if you want to say, but just like from one semester, have you accrued any debt? I mean, like credit
Right
card
now-
debt and that kind of stuff. You don't have to give me a number, just
I have already, but
Yeah.
I mean, my parents are trying to help me, but the financial aid is just looking at how much money they're making, and they don't realize that there's 5 of us in the house, and the rest of them don't work, and we still have the mortgage to pay. They're just looking at we're getting money, but they're not looking at what the money's going to.
right. And because probably your family is making more than they're making a bit of money, therefore you're not qualified for certain kinds of fiscal.
Exactly.
Right. Now you spoke with someone. This is Jennifer, who I'm talking to now. Spoke to someone in the financial aid office,
Yes, her name was
And-
Chelsea.
Chelsea. And how helpful was she? Did you feel she was credible? Did she know what she was talking about?
Honestly, I found something wrong with everything that she said, honestly.
Do you want to give us some examples?
Well, she basically told me that the office could help us to have a chance at an education for little to no money. And she was talking to me about loans, which I honestly, I would rather not go to school than to take a loan.
Did she give
And-
you any what the interest rate would be on those loans?
No, she didn't.
Kind of
But-
an important question about how much are you going to be paying for the loan?
Well, she was just telling me that different loans, it was different, but she was trying to tell me something that Obama is trying to come out with a loan that you wouldn't have to pay back any interest.
Right.
So she didn't give me an estimate on it.
And the likelihood of that happening is probably
Exactly.
small now that we have a Republican government. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on. Anything else?
Yeah, she was talking to me about grants and scholarships that would help to like meet the tuition,
Right.
and
Right.
that was basically it.
Right. But
She was talking to me about a bunch of scholarships to sign up for.
yeah. But obviously, it wasn't something that you really found helpful, or
It wasn't. It
because
really
you're
wasn't.
deciding not to take any of those because you're going to go work next semester and try to get some money aside so you can continue your education.
I did sign up for some scholarships, but I didn't really get back too much.
Okay.
So
All right. Anyone else on a is taking out a loan? No, no one has a loan. So you don't. Do you see that you're going to maybe have to take a loan in the future, or do you see you're going to be okay for the rest of the 4 years?
I hope I don't.
You got to be right up to the mic, Roger.
Nah, I said I hope I don't, because that put me in a bad position, having a loan and not being able to pay it off. Because when you go to college, they're not like, college is not to get a career. They're just giving you an education, right? So you're not guaranteed a career right after college. So what if you don't receive, you don't have a job, and you just got this debt, and it's just gonna keep on going up because of the interest rate, and how are you gonna pay it off?
Yeah, exactly. You do not have any guarantee that once you graduate you're going to get a job.
Exactly.
Especially if the jobs are getting better these days, but who knows what it's going to be in the next 4 or 5 years. I'm looking at a website called debate.org, and in it they ask the debate question: should college education be free? And I just wanted to pass it around the table whether or not you think college education should be free. Now, in this debate, 65% online had voted yes, college education should be free, and then 35% said no, and they had various arguments. And I wonder what you all think about should for some of you it is free in a sense, but do you think it should be free for everybody? And if I can hear from people I haven't heard from yet.
I think it should be free.
Go ahead. Why?
Well, because a lot of people like Jennifer, they may make a certain amount of money, but they also have responsibilities to take care of their families, or pay for like a house. And just because they have a certain number, they're not allowed to get help. And I think that's unfair, because like Jennifer, we have an example here who, her family makes a certain amount of money, but they still need to pay their house and 5 other people. And now Jennifer might not come back to school next semester because she can't pay for it.
Right. What about the argument that I see here in this debate.org, that if it's free for everyone, it continues to be free for everybody, that college becomes like high school. High school is free, and it just becomes too easy, and that college should be something that is special, and that if you don't pay for it, it's not really special. It's not really, important. You got to pay for something that is worthwhile.
I mean, as of right now, college isn't mandatory to go to after high school. So if it's free, people who actually want to further their education will go to college. And it would make more sense when it's free, like tuition is free for kids to go to school. Because like right now, I believe like, we have potential future governors and congressmen or whatever. They can't go to college because maybe they're struggling to pay tuition, or they're not getting financial aid, or even finding a job to be able to pay the tuition. So it's going to be harder for them.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, that's like putting a hold or, decreasing their chances of having a career rather than just getting a job that, pays minimum wage or so.
So you don't think if college were free that it would be diminished, that the value of college would be diminished if it was free for everybody? Like it is in, you were reporting, Roger, that is free in Germany and in certain areas.
Yeah,
right.
They have a free education for college because they believe that more skilled workers will come out and, for the workforce and, actually do something for the society.
So it becomes better for the society.
Yeah.
Very nicely put.
Yeah.
When the population is educated.
Yep.
I mean, I would say that a lot of bright young people who can't afford to go to college is not fair for them.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I do believe in countries like England or Germany or so there's a lot of people who actually have high education and proper jobs there. So, it will be the same for us if we got, tuition-free colleges. So.
Okay. Mamo.
Mama.
Well, we haven't heard from you. Who pays for this if it's free? If I'm not paying for it and you're not paying for it
I
and your
think the
parents aren't
government.
paying for it.
I
The
think
government.
should. I mean, they should pay.
All right.
Because
But isn't the government us?
in a way.
No,
we're
in a way, the
paying
government is us.
the
Where does the
taxes,
government
right?
get the money?
Taxpayers.
Taxpayers, and that's us.
Okay.
So our money shouldn't just go straight to the government and have no use.
We're supporting prisons and stuff.
Okay. All right. So in other words, you would take it away from the prisons and
not
put it into education.
completely, but
I think they should make a better
like, they should make a plan for us, because I feel like the students aren't really heard. Because we're in college.
Okay, well, what do you want to be heard? Let's say people are listening.
That
Free
tuition.
school.
Free
What?
school. All right. Free school, but more taxes. Higher taxes to pay for it.
No.
Ah. So you want it for free, but you don't want to pay for it.
Or they could just reduce the tuition.
So faculty gets paid less.
Yes.
All right, well, hold on.
Yeah,
Okay,
someone's
so-
got to pay for it. We got to move on. It's a thorny issue. Free college would be great. You make some good arguments, but then who's going to pay for it? And would it be as valuable as something that you do have to pay for? If you go see a psychiatrist, you've got to pay him or her, and part of the therapy is in the value of the paying. And so there's some value in having to pay for something, especially in our capitalistic environment. So thank you all. I'm going to move on to our next group. This will be team number 2. They're going to be talking about commuting problems for commuting students. This is JJAY College, and we are a commuting college. Most students commute here. Some people walk, some people take bikes, most people take subways, a few people take cars. And so we're going to be talking about the problems of commuting. So, Tom, if you can heat up that team number 2 podcast, and let's go. No, I don't hear the podcast. You got to turn it on.
If you've ever been to New York City, I'm sure you've all heard that at least once in your life. It's the sound of the MTA subway. Public transportation and commuting plays a large part of an everyday student's life. Be it high school or college, commuting has a really big impact on the daily life of a student. We're here today with Team 4 with our 3rd podcast to give our 2 cents on the pros and cons of commuting as a college student in New York City. I'm Vida, and I'm here with
Brianna.
Agan. And Ali.
and we'd just like to give our 2 cents.
This is Ali and
Agan.
here, and we're going to discuss the idea of commuting. Most students every day commute to college, and it affects not only their financial life, but also their educational life. Commuting, although commuting in of a sense holds a negative influence on college students.
Well, my commute to school every day is not as extreme as most students. I walk to school every day, about 15 minutes or so to get here. And what that does for me is that saves me a lot of money because I don't have to pay for Metro cards or paying for a dorm.
Yes, but not every student has the same accessibilities that you do. Every month I would have to pay $112 for a Metro card, and then I would have to wake up earlier to go to school. It affects my educational life in the home.
Hey, Vida again, and there's no doubt in what Ali had said. It's true. Commuting really does make all the difference. It really affects a student's life. Whether it's something like a 2-hour ride on the MTA or a 15-minute walk, commuting makes all the difference, financially, education-wise, everything. We can all agree, however, that financially commuting isn't the easiest thing. When you hear college, you hear money. College isn't cheap. There's tuition to think about. There's books, technology fees, and then money aside for commuting. Here in New York City, an unlimited Metro card alone is $112 a month. A semester is about 4 to 5 months, and then in total that's about $450, roughly speaking. Even if you don't want an unlimited Metro card, that's $2.50 every swipe. And then if you have a 5-day schedule, that's $2.50 to go and to come. That's $5 a day. A $5-day schedule would be $25 a week. That's a lot of money coming out of your own pocket. And that's for a ride on the subway where there's delays and there's traffic, and sometimes you could be late for class, you know? But then again, people could argue that dorming isn't cheap either. Depending on how long you stay in school, a semester is about several $1,000s. a year or so even. That's hundreds of dollars versus thousands of dollars, dorming versus commuting. That's definitely one perk I could say, however, about commuting. You save money in the long run, although it is very expensive. So, aside from that, let's hear from Benjamin Thien, Agan and Ollie's colleague, and let's see how his experience is.
And now we have our colleague,
Benjamin Fine.
So in this interview, I just want to ask you, what is your commuting experience to the John Jay?
For the first 2 months of being at John Jay, I would drive 45 minutes from New Rochelle. 45 minutes from New Rochelle, pay a $5 toll both ways on the West Side Highway, and pretty much pay anywhere between $9 to $25 to park while in class. It's very expensive, and traffic is very unreliable, such as taking the Sawmill to the West Side Highway, and people don't know how to drive.
So, the gas bill, the paying of gas every week, plus the toll, plus the parking money, how much does that normally cost you on a weekly basis?
Gas is $60, toll for, I'll take the Cross Bronx back, so I pay pretty much 5 times like a school day. Have class 4 days a week, so that would put 60 plus 24. I'd say I can't do math that well, but upwards of 60, it's $70.
So that concludes our interview. Thank you.
Brianna speaking. We want to thank Benjamin for being part of our podcast. Everyone is making excellent points when it comes to commuting. I'm going to throw out another point out there. This long commute students make might be seen as time for students to work on their studies. But this isn't necessarily possible for everyone. Everyone has a different commute to college. Commuters like Benjamin can't work on studies while driving home or to school because this is obviously not safe. For the commuters who take the subway, depending on what time you hop on the train, there might not be a seat left, and the train might be so full there isn't much room to even move. You might not get a seat until halfway home, which makes it very hard to do any work. Let's say you're lucky enough to get a seat. It can be hard to focus with noises from the train and loud babies crying and so on. This long commute for some students can take away from their studying time and time to work on assignments. Let's not forget that a 2-hour commute to school, plus classes, plus another 2-hour commute home can be very draining. So when you get home, you might just want to relax and possibly even take a nap. Commuting is without a doubt cheaper, but can be a very big hassle.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. That was team number 2 from the Learning Communities, Section 06. And they're here now in the studio. They're in the house. So we're going to start with Agan. Please say hey, and if anyone's listening, let us know. What is your major, too?
Hi, my name is Agan, and my mom's listening right now.
Hey, Mom.
Hi.
Yeah, and my major is political science.
Great. I was a political science major. Then went from undergraduate. So we'll have to compare notes.
I'm Ali, and I want to give a shout out to the person we interviewed, Benjamin Fine. It was a great pleasure interviewing you, and I'm a major in forensic psychology.
Where did that interview take place?
Right after our imperialism class.
Okay, so it was here in the North Hall?
It was in new building, 8th floor, I believe, room 8.72.
Right. There was something else going on nearby? No?
I don't think so. No.
Oh, okay, all right. Yes.
I'm Brianna, and I want to shout out my friend Dorian Perez, and my major is economics.
Okay, hey guys, it's Vida. I'm a forensic psychology major, and I want to shout out to Annalisa and Ithram. Thank you so much for making the time to listen.
Thank you, Elisa. And if anyone out there wants to send us a tweet, we can do so through RADio568JJ. So it's hashtag RADio568JJ. Send us a tweet, and we'll see if we, we'll see it, and we'll get back to you. So yes, commuting. There's a lot that we can talk about commuting. We've got more in this program, so we can only about 5 or 6, 7 minutes. And Agan, you walk, so you live very close.
there are some pros and cons to living close.
I bike here. It takes me about 12 minutes to get here.
It takes me about like 15 minutes to walk here.
Right.
And this morning I woke up, actually. I slept in. And it was...
And you got here on time.
Yeah, I got here on time. Because
He ran.
I speed walked all the way over here.
Right, right. But that's unusual. Most of us are commuting in.
Yes.
I've commuted to all kinds of schools to teach, as far as Brooklyn College. I know some people go out to Kingsborough. That takes forever to go out there.
Yeah.
And I know that the when you get on that subway, one, it costs a lot of money. And so let's talk about that, about the cost of commuting on the subway. Even though the subway is probably the cheapest form of transportation in this country. I mean, our subway system is cheap. You ever go to Washington and use the metro in Washington, it's double what it is here, maybe more.
Wow.
So
I think the metro in Pennsylvania is also about $3 just for one bus ride.
Okay. And here do students get a break?
No.
No.
It's the same price.
So it's $112
Per month.
per month.
For an unlimited card.
Okay. And if we put all the costs together,
That's $900.
Brianna, you were going to say that you had some information on this?
Yeah, from collegeboard.org, it was saying that the prices for if you're living in the city and just for like an average like Metro card, it would be about $450. But versus you being in a college dorm, it's $9,500, and that's for a that's not for a private college. And if you go for a private college, that's for like a public school, sorry. And then for a private college, it could be around $10,000. That's just for the dorming. That's not even any other transportation fees you might have.
And that's not counting food either.
That's
right?
not counting food either. Yeah,
Right,
that's
it's
just counting the
Having a roof
dorm,
under
just a
your-
dorm.
over your
Yeah.
head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. So it turns out that subbing it is a deal.
Yeah, you do save like thousands of
In the long
dollars.
run,
It looks
you
like
do
you're almost
save.
saving at least $8,000.
But you're also spending a lot of time on the train, especially if you're out in the far away
Yeah.
in the boroughs. Is studying possible on the train? I've heard stories. Yes, I can. No, I can't. Any
It
stories?
is possible, but at the same time, it isn't. Let's say you're on a train and there aren't that many passengers on it. And studying, it's a perfect plan. You could study. Let's say I have a midterm. I could study perfectly, but every now and then, you have those people that bring their instruments on the train.
Oh, yeah.
And they
Yes.
sing.
And there's always the crying kid.
And there's always
Crying
the
kid.
baby, and it just it diverts your attention, and you just can't study
And then
at all.
again, you have to pay attention to whether or not it's rush hour or not. And
Right,
it's just-
and when you can't get a seat, I would imagine it's difficult to study.
Actually, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
A few days ago, I was
This
getting.
is Vida.
This is Vida. A few days ago, I was actually trying to get home around 6:30. I left the college here in New York, and I went to the train station at 7th Avenue to catch the E. And about 5
This is
trains.
on 53rd and 7th.
Yes. The
Yeah, so
53rd
it's a
and
bit of a
7th.
walk.
It's a bit of a walk, but it's not that bad.
Yeah.
5 trains, 5 full trains have passed me, and I couldn't even get into it. So not even a matter of studying and getting a seat on the train. It's like the safety of actually getting on the train to go home. I was stuck there for about an hour and a half.
This is the E train.
Yeah.
Going out to Flushing.
And it wasn't
Queens.
even rush hour.
I used to teach, or I do teach, but I do it online now, out at York. And it would take forever. And depending on when you went, you would stand the whole way. And it's not nice. And it's why I teach an online course there now, so I don't have to go out there. So you would have to go all the way to the end of the E line?
Yeah.
Wow.
All the way past Jamaica, actually, the second to last stop.
Right. Sutphin Boulevard.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
I actually have to take another train, so there's that.
Wow. Yeah. So Ali, you were gonna say something about the dangers on the train. That it's
Yes. As Brianna previously mentioned, one of the perks of dorming, although it's I guess a lot of money, is provides you safety. Whereas if you commute and you go on the subway, you're pretty much riding under the same car as thousands of hundreds of strangers that you don't know, and you never know which one could just which one is normal, which one is crazy. And for example, even a few days ago, in New York Times, they released an article about a 34-year-old criminal named Kevin. I believe his name was Kevin Darden, and previously in his life, he's been convicted of dozens upon dozens of crimes. But what he did was he pushed a 61-year-old man named Y Kwon Kwok into the path of an oncoming subway train, and the subway train just immediately just crashed into him, causing him to die. And commuting, if I'm waiting for, you could just be waiting for trains, or you just have crazy people there, and you never know.
Yeah, well, there's that. There's also, someone sneezes and I got Ebola all of a
Especially
sudden.
with the Ebola thing going around, yeah.
Right, which is not going to happen, but I know people are fearful about that. And the subways are just not always that pleasant. I particularly do not like getting on a subway. I'd much rather take a long bike ride than ride the subway. Well, thank you all.
Thank you.
Any last passing notes on the subway?
Not
don't
really.
Don't jump the gate.
I'd like to say thank you to Jennifer, though. She just texted me saying she's listening. So.
Oh, hey Jennifer, give us a tweet on Radio568 JJ hashtag Radio568 JJ. So thank you again, and I'm going to thank team number 2, and we're going to bring in our next team, number 3, who talks about the problems here at John Jay with Wi-Fi and Blackboard and CUNY First. They covered a lot of territory.
That is a lot.
Yeah, a lot of territory there. So let's hear their podcast. And again, I thank team number 4 from the Learning Communities Section 06 of the Self-Meeting Society class. So fire up the team number 3. Thank you, Tom.
Hey guys, can you connect to the John Jay Wi-Fi?
Hi, this is Drama 131 LC06, group number 3, and today we're going to be talking about all the technology problems we have on John Jay campus, including the Wi-Fi, especially the Blackboard, and CUNY First.
I'm Ophelia.
I'm Tiffany.
I'm Mohammed.
And I'm Bridget. Recently, there have been a lot of problems with the John Jay Wi-Fi for both students and faculty. This morning, Wednesday, November 12th, I was unable to connect to the Wi-Fi, and I tried calling the technology department, and no one answered the phone. They told me someone would be with me in 1 minute, and then 5 minutes later, someone would be with me in 5 minutes, and I never got on the phone with anyone.
Yeah, that's also a problem with the school student services. They also provide very little help for us, and whether it's the problem about Wi-Fi or about Blackboard or anything related to any technology.
I haven't been able to sign on to the Wi-Fi since school started, and I'm paying all this money for all the amenities I'm not getting. Everyone else gets them. I'm paying the same amount of money. Why can't I get them too?
John Jay is a big school, over 14,000 students and faculty. And so with so many people watching videos and downloading movies, it kind of screws up the Wi-Fi for everyone else who actually comes to school to do work.
Yeah, like students are forced to use the computers and in the new building or in the North Hall to do their homework, when they could have just pick a spot somewhere in the building with their phone or with their iPad or laptop. But that's impossible to do since the Wi-Fi is really bad, and that we have very limited amount of computers in the buildings.
Another resource that our teachers use to assign us our homework is Blackboard, and this service always has problems because it constantly shuts down. When you submit things through Safe Assign on Blackboard, sometimes they don't even let you submit them as a Word document. They make you submit them as a PDF. Recently, I lost points because I submit something as a PDF because that was the only way I would have been able to submit it through Safe Assign.
Many of us face the problem of doing homework on Blackboard and then ready to submit it and shutting off. And I know this personally has happened to me twice when I'm ready to submit an essay online and Blackboard decides to shut down.
Once last week, I was supposed to complete a pre-lecture quiz before class started, and I went into one of the computer labs, and the Wi-Fi was unavailable. All the students were trying to get work done, and none of them could get their work done. I received a 0 for that assignment, and something has to get done about this problem because we all pay tuition, and we're all just trying to get by in school, and this is honestly not fair.
In a college of over 14,000 people, we need consistency, and all of these things that the school provides are inconsistent. How are we supposed to do everything our teachers expect of us and ask of us when we don't even have the simplest thing as Wi-Fi?
Yeah, that's a problem because there are many kids that is having problem with Wi-Fi, with Blackboard. For example, a friend of mine, he had to submit a first draft for an English class, and that he submitted it way before it was due, and that way before the time that it was due, and that now he received no grades because Blackboard wouldn't allow him to submit his assignment with Safe Assign.
Well, according to the John Jay Department of Technology, their mission statement says that it's responsible for software applications, hardware support, telecommunications, media service, computer network, and classroom technologies. However, this mission statement doesn't seem relevant in this case because half the stuff that they're responsible for doesn't work.
Another technology that CUNY uses is CUNY First. In the beginning of the year, although it doesn't apply to me, it might apply to some of my colleagues. Help with tuition, like FAFSA forms and financial aid. No, there was a big problem. No one was getting their financial aid money because CUNY First was down.
I still have not received my FAFSA, and every time that I do go to try and find out what's going on at the JJ Express stop, the Wi-Fi is down and I can't check into my information.
The bursars department is also responsible for this, and whenever you call them, it's a long wait. You never really get anyone. When you go there, again, it's a long wait, and by the time you get up, you need to go to your next class. Everything in this school is just so backwards. I thought that when you go to college, you were supposed to be able to have everything. You were supposed to get good Wi-Fi. You were supposed to be able to talk to people when you had a problem. But really, there's no one to talk to. You're running around in circles around this school.
And I know personally with the CUNY First system, I went to the academic advisement office yesterday, and the girl was unable to pull up my transcript because CUNY First wasn't working in the office. So let alone if we try to access CUNY First at home, they can't even access it here at school.
Yeah, CUNY First is the services is really bad. Especially personally, I know because when I started my first semester of college at John Jay, my name was accidentally swapped. It was vice versa. Like my last name was my first name was my last name, and because of that, I couldn't access my FAFSA. My classes was all switched up. My attendance was not like teachers and professors couldn't give me my attendance because they need to verify my correct name, and yeah, it's a very bad problem.
If you think that's messed up, they didn't even have my social security number on file.
What?
You need to use your social security number to register through CUNY portal when you do your registering for CUNY schools. And they didn't even have my social security number, but I had to use it to apply. So this school isn't responsible.
Yeah, CUNY portal too. I don't know if you guys remember, but the first time you have to log into to Blackboard, you can't log in directly from the John Jay website. You have to go to CUNY portal and then to Blackboard.
Right. Yeah, so it's disappointing. CUNY First is also unfair because some people are allowed to register now and others aren't. Some people are enrolled, and everyone should get the same amount of privilege.
I guess we can all agree that the Wi-Fi in John Jay, the CUNY First, and basically all the overall technological
aspects.
Yeah, aspects in the school, they're a hassle, and hopefully someone will listen to this podcast and will reach out to us and try to
do something about it.
Yeah, that's it.
So thank you. This was group 3. This is Bridget.
This is Ophelia.
This is Tiffany.
And this is Muhammad again.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Hey, thank you. That was team number 3 from the Learning Communities Section 06, talking about the problems with tech here at John Jay. Certainly a lot of problems. We're going to go around the table. Everybody introduce themselves. Start with Bridget. And shout out if anyone's listening. And, yeah, go.
Hi, everyone. My name is Bridget, and I'm
Go again.
police.
Go again. You weren't on.
Hi, my name is Bridget, and I'm a police studies major. Hi, Dad.
Hey, Dad.
Hi, my name is Tiffany, and I'm majoring in forensic psychology. Shout out to President Travis.
Yeah. Jeremy's listening. He always listens to our programs.
This is Mohammed, and I'm a psychology major. Hey, Mom.
My name is Ophelia, and I'm a political science major.
So, thank you, everybody. So, you went around the school and you asked everyone to give a one-word description of the Wi-Fi here at John Jay, the public Wi-Fi. And so, why don't we start with Ophelia and then move around to the most interesting word?
Well,
One-word description of the Wi-Fi here at John Jay.
Horrible.
Horrible.
Really bad.
It's very slow.
Shitty.
There we go. That's the word. All right. So Wi-Fi here at John Jay is shitty. And you all agree?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Right. Faculty gets a better feed than you do. Is that fair?
No.
What do you use Wi-Fi for?
For homework?
Exactly.
Someone said Netflix.
Some people.
Was that you, Tom?
Some people use it for Netflix and downloading music, but for those that really want to use it for school, it's hard. And I know the teachers, there's a lot less of teachers than there are students, so it's obvious that their Wi-Fi is going to be better. But it's just a little disappointing that if you go to tech, they tell you, oh, there's no more IP addresses left, because I know that's a fact. I've gone there, and that's happened to me.
Maybe the problem is that you have a lot of students eating up the bandwidth by downloading music, downloading movies, playing Netflix. That takes up a lot of bandwidth. Nothing to do with education. You're not going to find the professors are doing that so much. I don't. If you have 1,000 students that are downloading a movie that has gigabytes, then it's going to eat up the bandwidth.
Yeah.
So what do you do about that?
I don't know. It feels like there's only one Wi-Fi. I'm not quite sure about that, but let's say you're connecting from North Hall and then you go to the new building. You won't have to change you won't have to reconnect or anything. I feel like 14,000 students using one Wi-Fi is.
Yeah, exactly the technological part of it, I don't know. Now, I know Joe Laub, who is in charge of Wi-Fi here at John Jay, and I could recommend this program to him. And so you've got Joe Laub's ear. What would you say to him? He's in charge of Wi-Fi here at John Jay. What would you say to him?
Can you get another router?
Another router. More
Many
routers.
Yes, around the school.
So maybe more routers would help. Anything else you'd say to him?
I think there should be a separate department just for Wi-Fi.
Just for Wi-Fi?
Just for Wi-Fi.
Right. Well, we have a lot of departments, so we need one more.
Yeah, just one more.
Yeah, okay.
I feel like there should be like a limited Wi-Fi for people that wanted to use it for homework or like something to use for your studies rather than using it for like Netflix, downloading movies, music, whatever.
Right. I think it'd be hard to do that. I mean, how are you going to stop people from doing that?
Yeah, it's not. It's like
we can't
people
stop
could just
it.
people could
try
just
and enforce
log
it.
in on the the study version of the Wi-Fi and then just download music from there because it's faster.
Well, in high school, in my school, I went to public school, they had blocks on a whole bunch of the websites. Like, you could get onto Netflix, you couldn't get onto YouTube, you couldn't get onto this, you couldn't get onto that, like social networking sites. I feel like that would be a good idea, and there should be like a password that lets you on if the teachers needed to use it, but they have a separate Wi-Fi anyway.
Do you like that? That
Actually,
you
I
know-
have to disagree with that because I don't know. Some people want to use let's say you block something right
Blocking
let's just-
YouTube.
Let's say blocking YouTube, but then you have your reference there. So how are you gonna access that?
Our
let's-
media class references YouTube all
the
time.
Yeah, so that's very limited, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, college should be a place where you just can do whatever you want to do, and maybe it's a matter of just telling students, stop it.
I feel like some students doesn't understand the right time and the right place to do something that is not related to college. Why
Right.
would you download music in school when you could just do it at home too?
Exactly. Well, because you have a faster Wi-Fi here,
Well,
maybe
unless you
than you
don't
do
have
at home.
Wi-Fi. Maybe
Right.
unless you don't have Wi-Fi at home.
Yeah, Ophelia, we're going to end up with you.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, and it depends too. I mean, if you have 5 devices and 5 of your devices are hooked up to the school Wi-Fi, obviously that's killing the broadband. If you know you're gonna use one device, turn the rest of the Wi-Fi off the other.
So maybe we need a program in which we tell students, stop, bogarting the Wi-Fi. You know the term bogarting a joint? You don't know. Don't bogart that joint. It used to be
Don't hog it.
Don't hog it, right?
Don't hog
it. Yeah.
Right. So don't bogart the Wi-Fi. Maybe we could start a program like that. All right. Thank you all. We got to move on. Your program's a little long, so I got to bring in our last group. So thank you very much. That's team number 3, talking about the problems with Wi-Fi, mostly in CUNY First and Blackboard. We're going on to team number 5, who has a very brief podcast. We're going to talk a little bit more about the freshman experience and problems that freshmen have. And then we're going to get into some common problems of the college freshmen in our live broadcast. So, again, thank you all. And Tom, I think we're ready for the 4th podcast, this one from team number 5.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Justin Cuesta, and today I got a question for you. How is your college experience going so far? Well, for these 2 students, it's a bit rough. Let's hear what they have to say about their experience so far.
Hey Mia, how's it going?
Not too great. College is stressing me out.
Really? Me too.
Seriously, I thought I was the only one.
No, I'm in the same boat as you.
So what's stressing you out?
Oh my god, what isn't stressing me out? Just all these assignments I have due, pretty much I feel like they're all due at the same time, on the same date, at the same hour. It's crazy. And then this new system of handing it in through Blackboard, which somehow always ends up screwing with me the very last second, and just this unnecessary pressure it's putting on me. I can't handle it.
I couldn't agree anymore.
Yeah. What about you? What is college stressing you out?
Well, it's not just college. It's the fact that I have a job to pay off my dues and stuff like that. I have no time for anything, and not even time for my homework. You know,
do you
when you have work and college, you tend to fall behind.
I totally understand. Did you discuss this with your teachers?
Yeah, I guess they're understanding. I mean, I'm not the only student that works and goes to school, but that's besides the fact. The same thing as that you said, it's hard to manage your time.
Yeah.
You have no time for anything, and according to our calendar on Blackboard, everything's due at the same time, which is Sunday night.
Yeah, it's very stressful. I don't know how. I don't even remember life before college, to be honest.
It's too much to take in.
Yeah, life was so much simpler in high school.
So, there you have it. How's your experience going so far? Is it good? Is it bad? How can you make it better? I'll leave you with that. Until next time.
Okay, thank you very much. That was a little brief. We're going to have a longer kind of live broadcast now. We talk about the college freshman experience. You're just out of high school, and here you are at college. So why don't you introduce yourselves, and we'll move around the table and tell us your major and anyone you know that's listening.
Hi, my name is Brenda, and I'm a forensic psychology major.
My name is Justin, and I'm a criminal justice major.
My name is Justin Cuesta, and I'm a forensic science major.
My name is Meandra David, and I'm a forensic psychology major.
Okay, thank you all. And so you don't know of anybody that's listening to the program right now? No.
Shout out to Tom.
Well, yeah, wait, Tom is in the mixer. He's sitting here in the room with us, so he's got to listen to it. So the freshman experience, I was very, very interested in hearing what you thought about being in college as opposed to being in high school. Just real quickly, give me one or two words, and we'll start with Meandra. One or two words that is the biggest difference between college and high school.
In high school,
Just think of a word or two. Quickly.
Stressful.
Stressful. Okay, I imagine college is more stressful than high school. Justin.
Independence.
Independence. You're more independent in college than you were in high school, where the people were kind of on top of you. Okay, Justin. Yeah.
More work.
More work. Okay.
This feeling of responsibility.
Responsibility, independence, all that stuff. Tom, what would you say?
Well, I was going to say responsibility, but...
All right, Tom says responsibility. Okay. So there is a difference between that. And I had given you a reading by Patricia Gordon Neal from the academicinfo.net website, and she wrote an article called Common Problems College Freshmen Might Face. And I asked you to read through this, and I wondered if there was anything that you pulled out from this article. From academicinfo.net, again by Patricia Gordon Neal, written in 2013, Common Problems College Freshmen Might Face. So why don't we start, Meandra? Did you pick anything out here that you thought was worth passing on?
One of the things that I picked out were the line where she said, "This is one of the most important things you will learn in college, how to manage your time, balance between classes, study time, social time, and work if you have a part-time job."
Okay.
I feel like in college you often give in to doing other things rather than getting straight to work.
Why is that? I mean, we call it procrastinating. That's one word for it. Do you procrastinate?
All of the time.
What do you use for procrastination? I mean, we all use different things to procrastinate. Like, I got to check my email.
Hanging out with friends.
Just hanging out with friends. Yeah. And the friends are available face to face or social media?
Both.
Both. Okay. All right. Justin, Mr. Cuesta, what did you pick out?
I was looking at never enough money, like where they're talking about unless you're one of the very wealthy, you'll run into issues throughout your college career. And so I was talking about transportation, depending on I guess where your school is. Maybe if you're not at dorm, also with food and things like that. So maybe if you're in the city, you use a MetroCard or even a car, and then you pay for a garage. Or if you're outside the city, you have to pay for gas and insurance and things like that.
So you always need some money in your pocket.
Yep.
You're in the city, you have to get a Subway sandwich, you have to, you got to feed yourself, you got to take the subway, so you need money, and that gets to the idea of whether you work or not. So what about that? Do you work?
At the moment, not anymore, no. And I guess that
why not? So you stop working because you're studying all the time?
Yeah, basically. It started off as an internship, but then turned to a job. And after that, I stopped working so I could study more and things like that. And I guess my schedule as well is kind of sloppy, so there's no room and things like that.
Right.
It's gaps.
And does anyone here work at the table?
Yes.
Yeah. So two work and you don't work. Brenda doesn't work.
Nope.
So Meandra, what kind of work do you do?
I work at AMC Dine-In Theater, close to my house.
Okay, right. And how many hours a week do you work?
40.
40?
Yeah.
And you have a full-time number of hours you're taking, credits?
Yeah.
How many credits you're taking?
15.
15, that's full-time, okay. And Justin?
I work with kids with autism.
Okay.
It's Sunday and Tuesday, for 4 hours.
4 hours each time, so that's 8 hours?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Are you paid for that?
Hmm?
Are you paid to do that?
Yeah.
Great. And have you been trained to do this? Or is it something that you just want to do?
Something that I wanted to do.
Okay, great. So 8 hours is not the same as 40 hours. That's 40 hours. That's a lot of time. Meandra, do you get to study at all while you're at AMC?
Well, I have 2 days off out of the week, but it's really difficult because of the due dates.
Okay.
So
When you do dates for work, I mean for school.
Homework, yeah.
Right. So 40 hours a week plus procrastinating, things don't get done.
They do get done on their own time.
Okay, all right. Mr. Newcomb, what did you choose to share from this article by Patricia Neal?
Well, I was looking at time management.
Okay.
Because it is important in college. Because most of us, we put off at work just to do like completely something else, like hang out with friends, watch TV, just anything to avoid doing our actual schoolwork.
Right, beyond just procrastination.
Yeah, I procrastinate too.
Right, we all do.
I think everyone does. If you say you don't, you're
a liar. No, you're a liar. You're a procrastinator. Okay. So, Brenda, what did you pick out as?
Well, I picked this from the stress section.
Right.
How in 2012 the American College Health Association compiled an assessment of undergraduates, and 30% reported that stress had caused a negative impact on their studies. So in a way, it's like.
Do you feel that do you feel stressed? I mean, do you
Yes.
feel like psychologically stressed? Like you feel?
Yes, I feel like kind of going on with the procrastination thing, or at least something like that. It's like everything is due at the same time, so even if you don't procrastinate, it's just like all happening at once, and it's like.
So there might be a tendency that when I have all this stuff that I have to do, I kind of stick my head in the sand and
Yes.
I try to say it'll go away.
Yeah.
And do you think freshmen have that problem? That they're gonna think, I'm just not gonna do it. I don't want to think about it. And
Yeah, I had that this weekend actually.
Yeah,
Like
what
I
does
had
that feel like?
That's every
Oh god, like I had like a mental block on, like something just like blocked me from doing everything that I was supposed to do. Like I knew I had to do it, but I was like, nope, I'm not gonna do it.
Right, and
I-
then you found something else to do.
Yeah, I just like pretty much watched TV.
Yeah, and while you were watching TV, how did you feel?
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. Whenever I'm procrastinating, there's always a part of me that feels yucky.
I mean, I felt kind of yucky, but I was like, it felt nicer because I mean, I didn't think I had a lot to do, but I was still like, I had to get stuff done.
You were justifying it.
Yeah.
Would you feel better watching the TV, knowing you have a lot of work, or wait for this, watching TV and everything is done? Yeah, you know the answer to that.
We all know.
Right. You're always going to feel better when at least you do something.
Mhm.
I always feel like if I have like for this class I had like 85 papers I had to grade in midterm, and I procrastinated for about a day, and then I just started, and once I started, I felt better.
Yeah, I do that sometimes too, but this weekend was just.
Yeah,
not
it
my
was
weekend.
just your TV weekend, right?
Mhm.
No one picked out the heading under staying healthy. I think that's important. We're not going to really talk about that, but I think eating well and sleeping well and all that is something that you teens don't do. You tend to stay up late and you tend not to eat well,
Oh,
but
yeah.
all of that is important to thinking well.
Yeah, I know. I can kind of feel like this difference that from like eating in high school to eating now. Like I
Yeah.
feel like I've been eating either more or less depending on like the week or the day.
Right.
Like I just like.
There
I'm
is
just
such a
not
thing as
thinking.
brain food. There are certain foods that'll help you think, and sugars won't. And sugars and a lot of carbs, they're not going to really help you that much. Any quick last thoughts on staying healthy? What time? All right, let's go around. Brenda, what time do you go to sleep at night usually?
Or 11:30 or midnight. Or
Good for you.
But I take naps in the day, so.
Well, that's not bad. Justin?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. That's not so bad. Honest, Justin.
Is it like when you try to go to bed or when you actually fall asleep? Because I'm sitting right now 3 days without sleep.
Wow. Wow. What? You don't sleep because you're worried about?
No, I just don't know. I just really can't sleep.
You've always been that way.
Yeah, for quite a long time.
Right.
I get that feeling sometimes.
Right. Leandro, what time do you go to sleep?
Well, because of work, I often go to sleep like at 3 a.m.
Yeah, I
and I have
bet.
to be up by like 5:30 a.m.
So you're getting 3-4 hours of sleep a night.
Yes.
That's not enough. It's not enough. All right. Thank you all. This has been a very interesting discussion with freshmen from JJAY College here in the Self-Meeting Society class. I enjoy it. I hope they've enjoyed it too. A lot of problems being a freshman, new life, new things happen at you, new experiences. And in 4 or 5 years, you're going to have a bachelor's degree, and then you go to graduate school. Ha ha! This is RADio568.com, broadcasting from JJAY College in our temporary studios in 3149. Tweet us at #Radio568JJ. And we're going to be back on this afternoon at 1:45 with a murder mystery. Tom, why don't you tell us a little bit about the murder mystery? Get on the mic.
All right, so pretty much our crew is down one, and we got to find out who and why they did it. Gotcha, see that.
And I gave your murder mystery a title. I don't know if you liked it. I called it Murder. What did I call it? Murder on the Disorienting Duress, something like that. I gave it some weird name.
That certainly sounds fancy.
Yeah, it was fancy. Okay, so tune in at 1:45 today for our first ever Radio 568 murder mystery. And that's it.
Hopefully the only.
And first one. That's it. Thank you, everybody.